You are not bored, you're just lonely. You are not lonely, you are just bored. What does this mean? Don't get me wrong, we are social humans. We always have been and always will be. We thrive off of social interaction, and when we don't have that deep and true connection, even if we are around many people, we will tend to get lonely, we will tend to feel misunderstood and all of that. But there is a very quick fix to this, and it is finding your purpose. Because through finding your purpose and working on it every single day, you will meet the people that you will have something in common with and connect with. Therefore, your loneliness is going to eradicate. It's so easy to just say, you know, go out there and be open, which all of those points are very important and integral. But the main important thing that I have found throughout my entire life is when I focused on myself and I focused on what it is that makes me happy, that is when the real connections have come in. And don't get me wrong, I don't believe you can be friends with people that you just like have something in common with. Be open with people, have conversations, expand your consciousness, expand your knowledge about this world by having conversations with different people and be in that open mindset. But what I'm talking about is a connection that's so deep that you are understood. Your loneliness will get eradicated when you find those people, but finding those people means that you need to have a purpose in your own life. This is what saved me from moving to New York with, you know, I have had friends, like I knew people, but there were some moments where I felt like I wasn't understood, that I wasn't, you know, connecting with people. And 2022, I really had to step back and look at myself and be like, you know, if I don't feel a connection with these people, then I have to constantly go inwards and work on myself. And by working on myself, and being happy as well, like I will connect with anyone and everyone because I have an open mind, but even more importantly, I will be working on my own purpose. I'll be working on the things that make me happy, and I'm working hard, right? And 2022 was the year of me really looking inwards, and what that did was help me understand, again, what it is that I want to continue doing on this planet, my purpose. And I was working on myself, and that eradicated my loneliness. I've never really felt loneliness since I broke up with my boyfriend, like all those years back. I have never felt true loneliness because I found my purpose and I found how important that purpose is. And when you find that and you work on it, you're not thinking about people or connections or not being lonely. You have your sights set on what it is that you want out of this world. You might be saying, Rita, that's all well and good, but I literally do not know what I'm doing with my life. That is okay, because you are an open book. Like, you can taste different things, try everything out and see what makes you happy. And I definitely have been in that place where all I wanted to do is be with my boyfriend to not feel lonely. And I would sort of like use like him as like a form of just being happy, and that's not what a real connection is about. A real connection is giving to someone and them giving to you, and you fueling your own fires and then fueling that connection. It's not one person and then the other person have no fuel and they're trying to give each other something, or one person has like a huge ass fire and the other person's trying to take all that fire. That's not how a real genuine like relationship is, and what will happen is you'll end up feeling lonelier than you did at the beginning. Like, you have to fuel yourself, right? I definitely like remember those moments, and what did I do? Even though I had like in the back of my mind, I always knew my purpose. I always knew my purpose. But you know, there are moments in your life when you feel kind of lost, right? And so I definitely can emphasize with people who are like, I don't have a purpose. All I want to do is like be with my boyfriend or with my crush or with my friends because they like help me not think about myself and my life, and I feel more, you know, connected. And I understand that. Here's what helped me. I wasn't interested in anything, right? But I followed my happiness, even though this sounds counterintuitive. Being with my boyfriend, right? That made me happy. That's what I did. What else made me happy? Watching TV shows. That made me happy. That's what I did. And I like let go of all resistance, and I was like, my main priority on this goddamn planet is fueling my fire and making myself happy. So that's exactly what I did. It wasn't coming out of an attitude of give me love, give me love, give me love, or you know, give me happiness, give me happiness, give me happiness. It was just like, I'm in this present moment and I'm going to literally follow my inner guidance, like what right now is going to make me happy. And it could change moment to moment. Like one day I wouldn't want to watch Suits. Like one day I wanted to just like sleep, or I wanted to go to the gym, and it was just like random depending on my mood. So honor your moods, honor your feelings at the present moment. What does this have to do with your purpose? I'm going to get to that in a second. When I started doing the things that like rationally made absolute no sense, like watching a TV show, that gave me fuel, that gave me fire, that made me, you know, become a happier person just from watching those shows, right? This can take some time, or this can take a day, but I wasn't putting any pressure on myself. I was like, I'm just going to follow what makes me happy, because I can't like feel this loneliness, and like I just want to live my life, like be a whole ass person by myself and not feel lonely even when I have a whole ass man, you know? And so I started getting back to myself, because I was like, like I like this thing about this character, or like if it's a TikTok, like I like this person. And I started sort of like going back into myself and focusing on myself. I started learning about the law of attraction. I talk about this all the time. I started getting inspired about like going to the gym, and I started learning more about myself. And within like a couple of weeks of doing that, I started attracting people that were doing the exact same thing. And some of them were further along on their journey. They helped me and they gave me advice, and I was at that point ready to listen. And so one of my friends said, you know, I don't ever like watch TV shows. The only time I go on YouTube is if it's something that's like helping me like personal development or helping me in my career. And that really stuck with me. That was a very important pivotal point in my life. And so from that point on, because I was inspired, not because I was like, I'm going to do this because theoretically, blah, 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 blah. It's like the universe is just guiding you when you personally are ready for like the advice, right? Because if I wasn't ready, I'd hear that and I'd be like, okay, cool, good for you, right? But that inspired me, and then I was like, I'm gonna do the same thing. Started watching gym videos, started watching more of law of attraction videos. It's been years now, and I literally cannot tell you the last like TV show that I've watched. Like, I'm all about just watching self-development or spirituality or anything that's helping me become a better person, right? And it's always that intention. But what's more important was that I got back into my purpose, like what it is that I want to do on this planet. And my friend, this specific friend, was also very much like that. And we were she got out of like a relationship. I was still in mine, but we were very much kind of on the same path. And we were very much helping each other. We were working on our own careers, and through that, and also I found out about Gary Vee, and that helped me a lot as well. Through those two main things, and just always knowing my purpose and being so passionate about film, I was very much like, I totally can see now that connections can go, but you will always stay. And my mom would always say this, like, I get it. And it's the same thing with the advice of my friend talking about the self-development YouTube. It's like, you can hear the advice, but once you go through these specific like steps catered to you, will you see the importance of that advice, right? So I really, not in theory, in practice, started understanding connections are important, people are important. I'm not saying that, I'm not discrediting that. But like, you were born alone, you're gonna die alone. That's what my mum always said to me. People can go away from your life, but no one can take like your career away from you. No one can take you away from you. Like, you are in control of you. That's something that's always going to be there. And you will always attract the right connections if you are focusing mainly on yourself, on your career, on the things that make you happy. By doing that, by going down that path, by shifting your focus a little bit from how can this person make me happy, what can I do for this person to love me, feeling lonely when none of that is working, to I'm going inwards, I'm going inside of myself, and I'm going to be working on what makes me happy. Because when you work on something that makes you happy, if you don't even have a purpose, if you don't know what you're doing, that will come to you naturally as you are doing things that make you happy. You just need to have that intentionality in your mind, like, I'm doing this because, you know, I'm trying to find my purpose. I'm gonna go to the gym, I'm gonna go for a walk, I'm gonna see this friend, I'm gonna talk to this random Uber driver and ask him about his perspective of life. Like, talking to random people, like anything like that, right? Don't put any pressure on this. It can take a year, it can take 20 years. Literally, your life is so damn long, you don't even know how long your life is, girl. Like, do not ever rush yourself. Don't ever say, I have to get my purpose, I have to know what I'm doing. And by the way, your purpose can change like moment to moment. So that doesn't even really matter. But a generic overview of your purpose on this earth, helping people and being happy and, you know, leading by example, being a kind person, that's going to take you so much further than being like, what can I do for this person or this job or whatever to love me? You're taking that energy inside of yourself, and now these things will attract to you. You won't have to choose them. They will choose you specifically because, like, what you're doing will match up to where they're at as well. And you will grow together, right? That's very important. I'm going to be super like candid with you guys. Like, I had all the friends in the world 2021, and there came a time where I was like, I need to like cut most people off. Going into 2023, I have two friends, like two real friends that I can call my friends, and they both live in Australia. I'm being dead ass serious. Like, I want to be so dead ass with you guys, and I'm fine with that. I made that decision. Why I'm saying that is I never felt lonely in 2022. Living by myself in the United States with almost no one, because I knew my purpose. And I'm not telling you to do this. I'm saying this as one of the hyperboles, like a hyperbole example, right? Like, even when I had no one here, I was so filled with happiness within myself. Because I was going to the gym, I was excited about my career and my future. I was working on my spirituality and like how my mind thinks, because it all starts in your mind. You have to be strong-minded. Like, 2022 was the year of the law of assumption for me, honestly. It was very much about self-development and my career, and it was like, I had moments of loneliness, but like it wouldn't last because I was never bored. I was never bored because I was working on myself. I was working on the gym. I was working on the law of assumption. I was working on YouTube. I apologize for the ambulances. I was working on Daily Mail. I was working on what my plans were like going forward. With film, with social media, with a bunch of different things. It was reading books. It was getting ready to be ready to where I am now, to how I know exactly, like, I set myself up in the perfect position for 2023. This is the first year that I lived alone. I lived with my parents until I was 25, and then I lived with two roommates, like one roommate and then another roommate last year. And so this was very much the year of independence for me, learning, blah, 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 doesn't matter. But the hyperbole of it is that literally no friends, damn near. Acquaintances, I did go out, socialized, but like that connection, right? So I never felt lonely because I was never bored, because I was focusing on my purpose. And so I really want you to think about this, mull it over. If you have any questions, let me know in the comments down below. I love you guys so much. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.